Hello everyone, this is Metroid Gamer here. Welcome to Metroid Prime 1, the Metroid Prime Trilogy series, episode 24. In the last episode, we actually finished up, I'd say, 99% of the Gallery Overworld Phantom Address, but I believe I missed one more thing over there. I think I missed a chozo door over at the Phantom Canyon. You know, the place where you get the Royal Radio voice ball from there? Yeah, I actually missed that, so basically I'm just speeding up my, my playthrough as usual, because, we've already, explored all these areas before, so I don't need to, show around in detail again. Although, if you guys see something that you don't notice, you can comment on that, about that as well. So, anyways, I'm actually heading over to Tallon Overworld to get the rest of our very own missiles. And I actually did purposely made them for last because those were the easiest ones to get and the most memorable for me to get as well. So I knew that as soon as I get 240 that I was basically golden. I can get all 250 missiles in the game and I will have 100% completion. The only thing I'll be missing at this point is that chozo artifact over at the impact crater. But I can easily get that in episode 25, so it's not going to be a big deal. So, anyways, I'm also demonstrating that you can actually destroy the blood flowers with the plasma beam. I'm not sure if I've shown that in the other episode, but yes, you can do that. You don't have to actually hit the little acid spore back. You don't need to do that. And of course, I ended up missing the ledge. I'm not sure if was that the right ledge where you get the missile expansion there? I always get those mixed up. But I knew that, it's not the very first phase of the platforms that you get it. It's actually the second phase. I call this one the first phase, like before you get into the main platform right here. And then the second phase right here is where you actually, see a little ledge right here. Yep, see? Right there is missile expansion. I got a little lost there for a moment. Just look for it. Sometimes it can be a little hard to see with the extra visor. Sometimes with the extra visor, it's not really as advantageous as, say, the thermal visor or the combat visor. Thermal visor, you can see a lot of heated objects, like including the missiles. You can actually see them quite well. And even in the combat visor, you can see them a lot better than in the extra visor. Extra visor is mostly for seeing stuff that you cannot see in either of the visors. So yeah. Anyway, but I'm sure you guys already know that, and we are getting close to the end, so I've already shown everything that I could before the final boss, or at least the second to the final boss. I don't know if I would count Meta really as the final boss, but I'd like to say that he is, because, he's one of the main villains in the game, so theoretically, he'd be the quote-unquote final boss, and then the real final boss would be the one right after this, and he actually has two forms. And this is not the first time that Nintendo, or this won't be the last time that Nintendo will actually be doing this. I believe in Mario Luigi Players in Time, I believe you have known that the little final boss at the end, there are two princesses. There's actually the younger one, which is the person that you fight, and then you fight the older one later on, which is even longer. It's a very, very long fight. But of course it depends on your levels in that game, but I digress. Anyways, basically, the main idea for Metroid Prime is freaking chozo ghosts. They are everywhere. Well, at least in the chozo ruins. So I try to speed through those. Sometimes I still keep them in, if I think it's been a good fight against them or something. Or if I've, have found that little, if I was actually able to pull off that trick on film, where I can actually stun them, repeatedly until they die, so. Anyways, this is actually the very last chozo artifact that I missed before you go to the impact crater, so I'm gonna go ahead and get that. And I don't know if I actually missed another chozo door skin or something. Maybe. I don't know, I missed a lot of things. Except maybe the missiles, ironically. Because I got all the missiles right now. 250 is I'm telling you this, 250 is a lot of missiles. There are a total of 50 missile expansions in the game, so 50% of your completion is depending on those missiles, which is crazy. I always look at my progress when I first played this game, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be a real long game, but no. The completion is completely dependent on the items that you get. It's not by, how many worlds that you've traveled or how many bosses you have completed. Otherwise, the percentage would be a lot different. It would probably be a lot more like Star Fox Adventures or something. So, that always confused me a little bit. I always thought, man, that's a tough crowd. So I would ask my friends, like, hey, like, what percentage did you have after you had defeated the final boss? I said, like, 47%. I was like, whoa, I have 70% or something like that. Because, you know me, I like to try and get as many missiles as I can, in these kinds of games. Or at least in these Metroid games. And yeah, I have played through Super Metroid before. It is a fantastic game. I think I've actually played it for the very first time around about 4 years ago, and yeah, it's a great game. But it's kind of long, and of course, I wasn't really used to the controls, especially since this was the Super Nintendo era, and but I'm pretty sure if I actually did play it for the very first time when I was like 5 or something like that, I'd probably enjoy it like even more just because of the nostalgia factor. If there's one thing that I kind of wish I had, was that nostalgia factor of, playing the older Metroid games, like the one for, the original Nintendo, or the one for the Super Nintendo, stuff like that. So, but yeah, I legitimately actually enjoyed Super Metroid. I thought I was actually going to get, completely sidetracked and just be like, oh, because my mind likes to wander a lot. I tend to be kind of scatterbrained when I'm on, when I'm online. So, my mind, constantly just wants information, like, I read up on science vlogs and stuff like that, things like that. I'm the kind of guy that just loves information. I can't help it sometimes. And sometimes, I get sidetracked doing that, especially when I'm in the middle of, playing games. But Super Metroid was actually an exception. I actually was legitimately involved in that game. I was like, holy shit, this is actually a great game. Especially, considering that, it was made in like 1992 or 1993, it was still really good. Like, it's probably maybe in my opinion the best 2D Metroid game, besides Metroid Fusion. Although I never played Metroid Fusion, but I've heard, from people that it's a very, very creepy game. And I've never played Metroid Fusion, but I'd say probably the most creepy thing I've seen in Metroid would have to be from the second game. The second game in this trilogy is probably the scariest in my opinion, because, it's got the stereotypical dark world, and there are a lot of, dark enemies that, and of course, you see the stories about, all the other bounty hunters that are, aborting the land, and trying to excavate the land, trying to save the world of Aether. Which again, there's a research lab Aether in this game, and I always been wondering, like, if there's any connection between that research lab and the planet Aether in the second game. And I'm thinking maybe it does, because, when I was playing through it the second time, I actually missed the scan from Meta Ridley. I mean, not like, the physical Meta Ridley, but the power data on Meta Ridley. And of course, Meta Ridley is also in... Was Meta Ridley in the second game? No, actually he wasn't. But, I don't know, I always found that kind of interesting. I've always wondered, like, why would we come up with names like these? I mean, then again, Aether's probably one of the most commonly used names for things, so probably it doesn't really mean anything there, because, if you play through Fire Emblem, or if you play through Smash Bros., there's actually an attack from IA called Aether, or the Final Smash, the Great Aether. And there's probably, some kind of sword or weapon called the Aether. It's a very, very, just commonly used, terminology, just like Nightingale in poems. It might be just, an overused, term. It doesn't really have much meaning to it. But, I like to think maybe it is. Then again, I'm not sure if, if developers or the people that are, you know, doing all the dubs for the game have actually looked at Metroid Prime 1 before Metroid Prime 2, before they've thought of the names. So I really don't know. But anyways, I believe this is the last of what I need to do for this episode. You know, I got 98% items, but I'll get 100% as soon as I get to, you know, yeah, as soon as I get the last artifact, I'll have 100% items. And of course I have 93% because in this file I actually missed the Ice Shriek Bat, but in my second file I actually did went ahead and get the Ice Shriek Bat scanned, even though I had to play through the whole thing again to get it. But yeah, that basically is it for this episode, and I guess I will go ahead and see you guys in the next episode when I go ahead and fight Meta Ridley. So stay tuned, because next episode, final episode, would be, I will try and make it as, you know, as worthy as possible, because, you know, this is going to be the last episode before I go ahead and do Metroid Prime 2. Alright, so I'll see you guys then.